Another week, another podcast. Here we are. We're back. Another episode. I know originally this podcast was supposed to be bi-weekly, but I goofed and forgot what that meant and started posting weekly. So now it's a weekly podcast. And even though I'm super busy this week and I'm super busy next week, we're still going to have weekly uploads. Do I know what next week's topic is going to be about? No. Will the topic probably come to my brain as I'm trying to fall asleep? Yeah. I've been having such a hard time falling asleep lately because my neighbors outside my window, like my window backs up to this like courtyard. And I don't know why, but my neighbors think it is a wonderful idea to start up karaoke at 11:30 p.m. on their balcony when people are trying to sleep. So this happened to me, 2 days ago. Jackson was already passed out. He was conked out, sleeping, snoring, doing his little sleep talking routine. And I was in that phase of falling asleep where even if somebody just like looks at me wrong, I would just wake up and be wide awake. So I'm like falling asleep, and all of a sudden I hear outside my window, and this woman just belting at the top of her lungs. So yeah, it's a weekly podcast now. I don't know how I got there. Why was I talking about karaoke? I don't know. Hi guys, how are we doing? I apologize if some parts of this recording sound a little different. I just took like an hour break because I just tried recording right after getting off of work, and I was so exhausted that I couldn't even put like a sentence together. So I just consumed some lettuce and I feel a little bit more human. So we're gonna try this again. Today is gonna be an interesting topic. So I'm trying to pick things where you guys can respond to me, because I got quite a few responses from the Online Friends episode, and it makes me so happy for two reasons. One, it shows that it showed me who's listening, which is very cool because I know a lot of you already support me in other aspects of my content, and I love you so much for doing that. But I don't know, just like seeing that like, oh, hey, Reed, like I listened to your episode and I loved it, or this is what I thought about it, or this is my experience with the topic. It's just so cool. Like I love reading your messages and interacting with you guys in that way. So I'm very glad that everybody's enjoying the podcast so far, because when I'm recording them, I kind of like just black out and I don't really know what's going on, and I just hope for the best. I hope that it makes sense, because I'll start a sentence and then I end up like where I ended up with my neighbor on karaoke. I don't know how I started on that topic, but now you know. Now you know that I suffer every single night at 11:30 to my neighbors singing karaoke. Maybe one day I'll just join them. I don't know. But I want to try and do more open-ended topics like this, because since I am alone on the podcast, eventually I'll bring in guests, but for now I'm just alone, all by myself. It's nice to get responses. So today's going to be a little interesting, because this podcast is all over the place. Well, you know that. If this is your first episode, buckle up. But we mainly talk about gaming related things and content creation things, or just random things, I guess. But mainly gaming. So today's topic is about video games. More in the sense of, if you had the option, like somebody knocked on your door and they were like, hey, the world is ending and we have to put you in a new world, but it has to be the world of a video game. What would be your choice? Like you have to make a split-second decision. Like the world is ending now. We have to send you through this portal to send you into a video game. What video game would you choose? I know a whole bunch that I would not choose. The top of the list being Subnautica. I would hate to go to Planet 4546b. No thanks, I'm good. But there's so many games that I've enjoyed that I feel like it would be interesting to live in. Would it be practical? Some of them, no. But it would be interesting. It would be memorable. Like, I would love to live in Animal Crossing. Like, that seems like a safe bet. Or The Sims. I feel like I already am a Sim. I'm not gonna lie. That's a whole nother discussion for a whole nother day. But I already feel like I am a Sim. The Sims. Stardew Valley. What else? Minecraft. I would love to live in Minecraft. Not like, I wouldn't go mining. I would just live on the surface and board up my doors and windows every single night and never go outside at night. But Minecraft could be fun, I guess. If I had the chance to make it peaceful mode, maybe I would keep it on peaceful mode. I just want something where I wouldn't be bored, you know, where I wouldn't just be forced to survive. Because there's so many games where they're survival based, where I wouldn't want to be looking over my shoulder constantly. But I also don't want life to be too easy. Because with Stardew Valley, you're kind of just forced to farm, right? So you're just a farmer forever. And I mean, kind of sucks, but at least you have something to do. Minecraft, I could build forever, but it could get kind of lonely if nobody's around. At least in Stardew Valley, there's NPCs around me. I feel like The Sims is just a way too safe example because you're literally doing the same exact thing that you would be doing anyway in your normal life, except, I don't know, someone else is in control. I don't know. I remember I made TikToks about this a long time ago. Actually, my more popular TikToks were places that I wouldn't want to visit. So I guess it's the same discussion of video games that I would and wouldn't want to live in. I feel like it would be cool to live in any of the Dark Souls games or Elden Ring, just because of the scenery. Like, those games are so beautiful to me. I wouldn't want to, like I said, be looking over my shoulder every 2 seconds for a boss, but I feel like it would be cool to live in it, because at least, you know, I'm aware. Ooh. Okay, I just found my TikTok that I made, gosh, almost a year ago to the day. This TikTok was posted July 6th, 2021. Places I would want to, I said visit, but I guess live in also works. So the first one's Hyrule. I feel like it would be cool to live in Hyrule. Like, very beautiful games and locations like that. So I said Hyrule for Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Same thing with the monsters and, you know, Ganon. It would be nice if Ganon wasn't there, but the game's pretty and I get a glider. So that's kind of cool, I guess. I can deal with magnets and bombs and freeze things. So I feel like it would be cool to live in Hyrule. Tamriel. So Elder Scrolls Skyrim, the area there is called Tamriel. I feel like it would be cool to live there because the side quests, all the NPCs that you can meet. If I could be the strong-ass mage that I was in my playthrough, easy. Any day I would do Tamriel because I wouldn't be scared of the dragons then. I could like one-shot dragons when I was doing my Skyrim playthrough. It was great. I loved it. Not to mention all the shouts that you can learn. And then I said Dark Souls 3 because it's just pretty. I'm not a masochist. It's just a pretty game. I could have sworn that I made another one of these. Oh, here. Places I'd love to visit gaming edition. Let's see what I said for this one. Okay, this isn't a place that I would necessarily want to live because it's the same argument of literally nobody is around me and I would have nothing to do. I just want to see it because it's more nostalgic for me. So I said Nuketown, the map Nuketown from Call of Duty Black Ops 1, because that's the one where it's not all messed up and it's before it gets all futuristic. The OG, what I consider to be like the OG Nuketown. I feel like that would be cool to visit. Ooh, I said Summoner's Rift from League of Legends. I don't know if I would want to live in Summoner's Rift, but I feel like it would be cool to walk around. And I'm not talking like how you can see it in League where it's a top-down view. I'm talking, I am in Summoner's Rift and I'm exploring the lanes and the jungle, and I feel like that would be an amazing place to walk around, even just for like a day. Like, what if they made a theme park? Like, you know how they have Harry Potter theme park? What if they made a theme park that was League of Legends themed? That was just Summoner's Rift, and you can walk around, and they had a dragon roller coaster, and they had a Baron ride, and each nexus was something crazy. I don't know. Like, maybe it would either the top lane where the top lane meets or where the bottom lane meets would be like the entrance of the park, and then each nexus would be like the biggest rides, and then you just had things scattered throughout the jungle. I feel like that is a great idea. I'm gonna message Riot. Riot, if you're listening to this now, I said it first. Please write me my check. Thanks. Do I want to go here, though? I said Undertale, to explore Undertale. I don't know if I would want to, because there's just so many things down there that I forgot what it's called, but I did the run where I pretty much killed everything. Genocide run, is that what it's called in Undertale, where you pretty much kill everything? That game is so freaky because it remembers, so the next time you play, it's like, oh, I think I died in the last time we saw each other. So I don't know about Undertale. Undertale's a little funky. I don't know if I feel comfortable going to Undertale. Maybe that was just a little spice at the end to kind of throw a wrench in everything. But I feel like those places would at least be cool to visit. But if I were to live in a video game, I'd want something that is safe and I'd have something to do. But maybe you have a different opinion on things. Maybe you like fear and you like the idea of not being able to die and you can just respawn, so you want to pick a place that's just chaotic and you never really know what's going on. I don't know. Like I said, maybe you want to be in space. Maybe you want to be in Ark and survive with dinosaurs. Maybe you want to be in Subnautica and fist fight a Leviathan. I don't know. I guess I didn't think the parameters of this topic through. So right now it's just kind of open for discussion because there's going to be different limitations and all that. But let's just say that you are joining the world as is. Like you're a level 1 player in whatever game it is. What game would you choose to live in? If you die, you respawn, so that's not an issue. Would you want to be in a spooky game? Like, would you want to be... I consider Subnautica spooky. So would you want to be in Subnautica, where you're on just this water alien planet trying to survive? Would you want a safer bet, like Stardew Valley, Animal Crossing? I'd go with the safer bet, because they also seem more peaceful. Would you want to be doomed to just live in Mario Kart and be a race car driver every second of the day? I feel like that would kind of suck after a while. Ooh, or like Wii Sports, where you could just jump around and be a different professional sports player. There's one that's called like My YouTuber Life or something, where you can just be a YouTuber. I guess that one's not too bad. I don't know, Witcher? Would you want to live in The Witcher? You could do like Red Dead Redemption 2, where you're just in the wild, wild west. I don't know. What are you guys into? Are you into something like that? Not the wild, wild west, but like just something different that really tickles your fancy. Maybe space. Maybe there's a space game that you like where you could just be launched into space. Living in space sounds cool, right? If I had to live in space, like Earth was not viable at all anymore, and I had to put my ass on a spaceship or else I would just explode with the world, I'd probably end up on the spaceship. Do I want to go? No. Like, if I had a choice, I would stay on Earth. That terrifies me. There was this person that I was talking to in high school, and he flat out told me that he wants to be one of the first people to colonize Mars. And here I was sitting here as a 16-year-old with this guy that I had a crush on telling me, I would ditch you. I would quite literally leave you on planet Earth to go to Mars, to go live on a fucking dust rock. I was like, are you kidding me? Because I was like, I would never just uproot myself from Earth to go live on Mars. I don't know. Some people are into that. I'm not. If you want to do that, more power to you. Take my ticket. That is so cool for you. I don't want to go to space. I don't want to go to space, and I really hope that I never have to, and I really hope that I could just live here on Earth. And anytime somebody's like, oh yeah, like, Earth's clock is ticking down, like, that freaks me out. Like, everybody just shh. You can go to Mars. I'm gonna chill here. Thanks. Hey, are you in need of some new clothes? We all can use clothes from time to time. You know, summer's coming up and you want to show off that cool rockin' summer bod. I get it. I understand. You're in luck. We have a new merch store. If you go to BlindedBySilence.com, you can go ahead and check out our new merch items. And since you're a podcast listener, use code PODCAST, that's PODCAST, for 10% off your entire order. We can go over places I said that I don't want to visit. So we already talked about Subnautica. Obviously, I would never live in Subnautica. Are you fucking crazy? I would never do that. Ooh, the next one I said was Five Nights at Freddy's. I would never. I would like to explore the, oh my gosh, what's it called? From the newest one, from Security Breach. I would love to walk around that area. I feel like that would be cool. But to live in a world where Freddy Fazbear franchise, whatever, exists, no. I'm so good. I know that there's some conspiracies behind Chuck E. Cheese and all that, but I would not want to live where there are living animatronics that kill children. Ooh, in the forest. Those of you who don't know about the game The Forest, I am going to be playing a playthrough with some people soon, and hopefully I'm going to have some content up on YouTube for that. But I've never beaten The Forest. And the way that The Forest is you are on a plane, and your plane crashes on this remote island. And you think that you're alone, but you're not alone. There's a whole bunch of cannibals that live on this island, and they get curious of you, and then they start getting more comfortable, and then they start bringing out these crazy defenses that are mutated cannibals. So it's just bad. It just gets real bad real quick, and that game is freaky, super freaky. So I would never want to live on or visit the peninsula of the forest. That's what it's called, the peninsula. No thanks. Okay, now I need to find the rest of these videos because I had to scroll all the way up to the top for this. Okay, oh, found them. Heron from Dying Light. Anything that has zombies, I'm so good to never, ever exist in. I keep having nightmares that I'm living in a zombie apocalypse, and no matter what, if I'm dreaming that there are zombies around me, I die. Like, I can't wake myself up in time. I always die to zombies, and it is a terrible thing to live through over and over and over again. I also tend to look up dream meanings. I don't know if anybody else does this, and I'm sure that it's just a load of baloney, but I'm always curious where I'm like, oh my god, I dreamed of Justin Timberlake making a Christmas tree out of ramen noodles. I think that means something. So I'll look it up, and anything that I can find where it's like, oh, did you ever dream about ramen noodles? This means that you're gonna find money on the ground soon. And I was like, oh. So apparently with zombies, here, let's look it up now. Because I keep having zombie dreams. I haven't had any recently. What does it mean when you dream about zombies? You're feeling overwhelmed about something, whether it's a major life change, a lot of stress, or some sort of bad habit that you're trying to get rid of. Yeah, so I guess I'm just stressed out constantly, and I just dream of zombies, and that does not help at all. I wasn't really having bad zombie dreams when we were playing The Last of Us, ironically, but I don't know, just every once in a while I just have reoccurring dreams or nightmares, I guess you can say, of zombies, and it's terrible. That, and also my teeth falling out. Apparently your teeth falling out means like I don't remember exactly what it means, so I'm not gonna look it up, but I think it's like you want to tell somebody something, but you feel like you don't have a way to explain it without sounding like a bad person, which doesn't really fit my criteria most of the time. I'm just more so scared of my teeth falling out, so I think that's why I just dream about it. That, and somebody also said, like, what if, it was like a meme or something, where they said, what if your teeth, instead of being strong, were only strong when you ate food, but when you weren't eating food, they turned into the consistency of bristles of a toothbrush. Like how your toothbrush has bristle hairs, of your teeth being like that. And now I have nightmares of my teeth turning into toothbrush bristles, which I'm so sorry, now you're suffering with me. And it's just disturbing and so disgusting. And I always wake up and make sure that my teeth are still the same strength as they were the night before, in case I woke up in a different dimension and had to call somebody. I don't know. Another place I wouldn't want to live, oh gosh, I would never want to be in the trials, Dead by Daylight, like any of the maps of Dead by Daylight. Just the thought of being forced to fix generators for the rest of your life while being chased by monsters. I'm so good. I could never live like that. What about Sevastopol Station from Alien Isolation? This is a game that I've never played, and we are going to play it soon, and I'm nervous, to say the least, because I don't really like horror games, and this one is by far one of the most recommended horror games by most people that I know. I don't want to live on a spaceship. I will watch space movies. I will partake in space adventure games, but I'll be damned if somebody's putting my ass on a spaceship, I'm good. I'm so good. Oh, here's another one. So we didn't finish this game because I was playing it on my old computer and it couldn't run. We probably should finish it, but don't tell Brie. Don't tell Brie I said that. But Mount Massive Asylum from Outlast, any sort of abandoned anything is a red flag to me. Whether it's an asylum, whether it's a hospital, whether it's a mall, whether it's anything. If it's abandoned, it gives me the heebie-jeebies. There was this abandoned building back where I used to live that used to be a very popular office building. Like, I would drive by it all the time and there were constantly people in it. And it became abandoned for whatever reason. And it's just so deserted and desolate looking, and it's terrifying. Whenever I look at it, it literally looks like something out of The Walking Dead. Terrifying. All the windows are just super filthy. Some of them are broken, boarded up. The building hasn't been pressure washed in like 10 years. And it's just creepy and eerie looking. There's spray paint that says keep out. Maybe the zombie apocalypse is inside that building. I don't know, but it sure as hell looks like it is. So any sort of abandoned anything, I'm good. So this is another game that I got from the Steam sale that we are going to be playing because I've always wanted to try them from the Doom series. So I put Hell on Earth, Doom Eternal. So I've never played Doom, but this place looks terrifying. And when I was very actively posting these videos on my TikTok, everyone kept commenting this specific place. This is quite literally just hell. Lava everywhere, volcanoes, rocks, demons. It looks spooky, so I'm good. I start sweating if I just look at light, so I don't need to be surrounded by lava. I feel like that would be very uncomfortable and very unpleasant. Okay, and then this is the last video of places that I never want to visit. Let's see if there's anything memorable in here. Oh, well, okay, I put the end in Minecraft, like the end area with the Ender Dragon and all that, because the void's kind of freaky. If I lived in Minecraft, like I said, I would be only on the surface. I wouldn't go mining, I wouldn't go into the nether, and I sure as hell would not go into the end. Even just playing Minecraft and I know like I'm safe and if I die I'm literally just losing my armor, it scares the crap out of me walking around the end, which sucks because the end has some of the best loot. Like, I love elytras. Those things are so cool. You can fly around and do everything in survival, but to get to them is absolute hell. I hate making bridges in the end because I always fall, or I always feel like I'm gonna fall, and just looking into a literal void is terrifying. So if I had to experience that in real life, I would shit a brick, an entire brick. Oh, I would Sea of Thieves. I love this game so much. I feel like I would have a blast as a pirate. You know, I could live in Sea of Thieves. I think I'd be okay. Just as long as I don't encounter the Kraken or the Megalodon, I should be fine. Like, even ghost ships. If ghost ships popped up, I'd be okay. It's just the Kraken I'm more so worried about. I've never encountered the Kraken in Sea of Thieves, and I hope I never do. But just big open waters like that terrify the crap out of me. So the idea of just something coming up from beneath me and just swallowing me, terrifying. If I could live in a world without the Kraken and still be a pirate, I would do it. I would live in Sea of Thieves. Okay, let's elaborate on why I feel like I'm a sim, because, you know, it is a discussion for another day, but today is now, so let's talk today. I was playing The Sims the other day. I've been playing The Sims a lot more because a new friend of mine mentioned something during the Steam sale. Shout out to Morgan. She was like talking about how she's been wanting to play The Sims. I don't know if she's ever played a Sims game before or if she just wanted to start picking up The Sims, but I used to be obsessed with The Sims 3. So I put tons of hours into that game. And then I got my hands on The Sims 4 and I've played it here and there. I'll go like little spells where I'm just obsessed with The Sims. And I've fallen back into that obsession. Thank you, Morgan. I'm now obsessed with The Sims again. So I was playing The Sims. And I'm notorious for playing the game on 3 times speed, so everything's just chaos forever. And when you do that for extended periods of time, for whatever reason, it like breaks the code in the game. So I was unable to, you know, mess with my Sims. I had a child in the game, and my child's bedroom was upstairs, and the kitchen and the bathroom were downstairs. My child was stinky smelly and starving, so I did as any good sim parent does and tried to take them downstairs to feed them and bathe them. And for whatever reason, the game wouldn't let me go down the stairs. It, like, anytime I would get to the first step, I would just put the kid down, and then the kid was just freaking out because it's like, I'm starving, feed me, or CPS is gonna take me. So, you know, I'm doing my thing, trying to get this kid down the stairs. It even got to a point where I tried to control the kid and have the kid crawl down the stairs. But no matter what, just the game was not letting me help this child. I'm like, okay, CPS is going to come and take my kid, and there's just nothing I can do about it at this point. So eventually, on its own free will, the kid crawls down the stairs, and I was able to feed it and bathe it. But it got me thinking. I was like, that's so weird that it finally fixed itself. I don't know. But then after all that happened, I went to the kitchen to go get a snack, and instead of, you know, making myself a snack, I was holding a water bottle when I walked into the kitchen. I put the water bottle in the pantry, didn't grab anything out of the pantry, and just walked straight to my kitchen table and sat down. And I was like, huh, that was weird. Never done that before. So I didn't take the water bottle out of my pantry for like 2 days later, by the way. Love that for me. But it was like just so strange where I was like, huh, why did I not grab a snack? Like, why did my task get canceled? And I was like, oh, am I a sim? And then I started thinking about, what if I'm a sim? Like, somebody's playing The Sims and I'm the sim, and then I'm the sim that's playing the Sims game, and then in the Sims game, your sim can play the Sims. And I was like, it's just Simception. Forever and ever. Which leads me to my next topic. Who do you relate to? Character-wise. Like, is there a character in a video game or a movie or a show that just really speaks to you? I always joke around and say Jar Jar Binks is my spirit animal. I honestly feel like he is. I'm just all over the place, and I've never related to somebody so much. I love Jar Jar. He's great. He really tries his best, and no matter what, everything just blows up in his face. But at least he's trying. That's what matters. I'm trying to think of any other video game characters that I maybe like. I related very heavily to Lydia. Those of you who didn't see my Skyrim playthrough, there is a follower in the game. Her name is Lydia, and she is just a nuisance. She's just annoying and doesn't really like do anything. She's just always in the way. So in my first ever Skyrim playthrough, I killed her on accident, but I killed her within like the first 5 minutes of my playthrough. And I don't think I've ever related to a character more, because, you know, she's just in the way. She's always in the way. She's annoying, and she's trying, but she's also like, she doesn't care enough to actually give 100% effort. I feel like that's me. I feel like I'm like Lydia, which sounds bad in the grand scheme of things, but I feel like I relate to Lydia. I love refreshing the analytics page and seeing all the different spots on the map light up, because now we're getting listeners in more places, and I think that it is so cool to see things pop up like that, because the darker the circle gets, the more that the listener is listening. There's so many people in Ohio that listen to the podcast. Hi, Ohio. I hope you're doing good. I don't know if it's like the same people that are just traveling around Ohio, or if it's multiple Ohioans. Ohio, what are you if you're from Ohio? But hi, Ohio. Oh, hi, Ohio. I'm annoying. I'll stop. You're gone. You stop listening. I'm curious. Is there a game that you guys absolutely loved that you would love to live in? Or even a game that you were like, oh, hell no, I will never be caught dead stepping foot in this video game realm. Like, tell me about it. And same with the characters. Are there any, I know that we briefly touched on that because I just needed food in my system. My brain was shutting down. But are there any characters that you feel like you relate to? Like anything where, I don't know, you've seen a movie, you've seen a show, or you've played a game and you're like, wow, I really relate to this character. Because I know that my examples were garbage, but it's true. I'm more of a like relaxed sort of person that's very clumsy, very accident prone, and sometimes I feel like I'm just annoying to be around. So I feel like I really strongly relate to Jar Jar Binks, or at least I can sympathize with his life. That sounds so sad. I don't know. Message me. I love getting responses from all of you about the episodes and everything. But thank you so much for listening. I know today was a little weird. I don't know. Hopefully I can fix most of it in post. But make sure that you're following the podcast if you're listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, to be notified the next time that a podcast episode is posted. I'm going to try to stick with the weekly, where they're posted every Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Whatever time that is for you, I have no idea because I don't know where you're at. But I hope it's nice where you are. I hope it's good. If you guys want to see more content from me, please make sure to follow me on all my other socials. They're linked down in the description of the podcast. But if you're too lazy to look, I got you. So on Twitch, it's twitch.tv/blindedbysilence. The podcast Twitter is blinded_podcast. I know it's not Silent Thoughts Podcast, but I don't know, I goofed and I just didn't think of a name. So blinded_podcast is the Twitter for this podcast. So you'll get notices on topics, when an episode's posted, all that fun stuff. If you want to check out my not my podcast, you're listening to my podcast. If you want to check out my Twitter, it's BlindedBySilence. So not blinded, just blind. BlindedBySilence. My Instagram is BlindedBySilence TV, and my YouTube is BlindedBySilence, but all of that's listed down in the description. If you want to cop yourself some merch, then be sure to check out our merch store at BlindedBySilence.com, and remember, use code PODCAST, that's PODCAST, for 10% off your entire order. Thank you guys again for listening. Thank you so much for supporting me. You're awesome, and I will see you next week. Bye.